A cordial greeting. Today is Saturday, August 12, 2023. This is meteorologist Ruben Garcia speaking. In this video, I will be discussing the cyclonic activity in the Pacific region. It is forecasted that several additional cyclones could be forming during the next 7 to 10 days. It is important for residents of the states in western Mexico, including Michoacán, Colima, Jalisco, Nayarit, Sinaloa, Baja California Sur, and Baja California, to be attentive to the evolution of a low-pressure system that could potentially have a trajectory near the coast. It is important to stay attentive to the evolution and forecast of this disturbance, and I will be providing more details about this forecast in a few minutes. Additionally, I wanted to mention that there is a low-pressure system with development potential moving westward. It should pass to the south of Hawaii. Furthermore, the Tropical Depression Number 7 has just formed in the eastern Pacific hurricane season. It is expected to maintain a westward trajectory, also passing near Hawaii in the long term. It is very likely that Tropical Depression Number 7 will develop into Tropical Storm Eugene and later strengthen into Hurricane Eugene. Following that, we have the names Fernanda and Greg. The recent months have been very active, and you can see that the eastern Pacific hurricane season has been more active than usual, which is typical during years with the El Niño phenomenon. According to the latest perspective from the National Hurricane Center, you can see that the low-pressure system located near longitude 135 degrees west has a high probability of becoming a tropical depression, but it is far from the Mexico region. Additionally, here we have the newly formed Tropical Depression Number 7. Lastly, there is a low-pressure system located south of Costa Rica at the moment, which also has a high probability of becoming a tropical cyclone. It is expected to have a trajectory parallel to the southern coast of Mexico and close enough for us to monitor this forecast. At least for this first disturbance, it is anticipated to pass just south of the Hawaiian Islands without significant effects. However, Tropical Depression Number 7, which is expected to strengthen into a tropical storm and hurricane, is anticipated to maintain a west-northwest trajectory. In the long term, by the next weekend, it might pass near or over the Hawaiian Islands. Fortunately, conditions in this area won't allow it to arrive as a very strong system, and we hope it will bring some much-needed precipitation to the region due to the dry period it has been experiencing in recent months. Now let's discuss this low-pressure system, which is a moderate risk for the Mexico region. In visible satellite images, a weak low-pressure system is already observed south of Costa Rica. It is anticipated that along its trajectory, it will cross over ocean surface temperatures that remain extremely warm. As we can see on this graph, ocean surface temperatures in these areas range from 29 to 31 degrees Celsius. Conditions in these areas will be very favorable for this system to strengthen and possibly develop into a powerful hurricane when it passes just west of the states of Michoacán and Colima. Let's see what the latest meteorological model forecasts show. Here we have the American model, the GFS, which by Monday possibly has a tropical depression forming south of El Salvador and Guatemala. You can see that its forecast maintains a trajectory parallel to the southern coast of Mexico, and by the end of next week, it has a powerful hurricane, possibly Category 2 or Category 3, moving near the western regions of Colima and Nayarit. Then, in the long term, you can see that the American model predicts a trajectory taking it northwestward and passing near or over Baja California Sur. It is very important for residents from Michoacán, Colima, Nayarit, and Baja California Sur to pay close attention to the forecasts over the next few days. To give you an idea, this is the forecast of how this future hurricane could look when it is located just west of Nayarit and Colima. This forecast would be for next Friday, and we hope it remains distant from the Mexican coast. However, it could pose a greater risk for Baja California Sur. Let's see what the European model shows. A very similar forecast to the GFS. You can see that between Tuesday and Wednesday, it has a tropical depression forming south of Guerrero, then maintaining a parallel trajectory to the coast but far enough away for tropical storm conditions not to impact the southern states of Mexico. Then, for the weekend and the beginning of next week, it keeps it just southwest of Baja California Sur. This is another possibility of it remaining away from the Mexican coast, but there is still uncertainty for the coming weekend. We still don't know for sure whether it will approach Baja California Sur or maintain a westward trajectory over the Pacific. What we do know is that the stronger it becomes, the higher the likelihood it will approach Baja California Sur. But if it remains a Category 1 or 2 hurricane, it will likely keep the trajectory away from the Mexican coast. There is uncertainty in the long term, but we will remain vigilant at Hurricane Info to keep you informed. This uncertainty is clearly visible in the ensemble members of the GFS model. While the majority maintain a westward trajectory away from Mexico, we still have some members indicating it could take a turn more northward and possibly reach parts of Baja California Sur by the coming weekend. Similarly, We also have the European model, where most of the members maintain a westward trajectory, although some of them strengthen this system more than anticipated and show the possibility of it taking a path closer to Baja California Sur. In terms of the preliminary effects anticipated in the Mexico region, you can see that substantial rain is expected between Colima and Nayarit. For example, the GFS model is forecasting between 100 to 150 millimeters between next Friday and Saturday, affecting this area. This rainfall could cause some local flooding, and these estimates of accumulated rain can vary significantly if this disturbance moves closer to the coast. Additionally, you can see that tropical storm winds will most likely remain over the eastern Pacific waters, just south of the states of Guerrero, Michoacán, Colima, and Nayarit. However, any deviation closer to the coast could result in some strong gusty effects. In the long term, observe the projection from the GFS model. In its latest run, it maintains a trajectory very close to Baja California Sur and Baja California, bringing tropical storm or even hurricane conditions affecting some of these areas. This is why it's important for residents of Baja California Sur and Baja California to continue monitoring the forecast for this future cyclone expected to pass near Mexico. Well, that would be all for the preview of today's video. Over the next few days, I will continue recording videos to update this forecast, as it could pose a threat to our followers in the Mexico region. In the meantime, I hope everyone has an excellent weekend.